Now sit comfortably. Take deep breath and feel relaxed. Feel as if all your body stresses are going away, and I am completely stress free, relaxed. Slowly bring your awareness at center of your forehead and see yourself as point of light, a shining tiny star. Just feel the light of this star. This is me, completely soul conscious state. Feel yourself being of light. As I am deepening my awareness into this state, I feel the peace within me emerging out. Feel that vibration of peace emerging out from myself. I am a peaceful soul. Vibration of peace spreading all around. I constantly see myself as point of light and slowly raising my awareness and consciousness to lift myself towards the place where I belong, that incorporeal world. And I see myself in the place of golden red light. Just feel that I am point of light surrounded by this golden red light, and all around there is a deep silence. Experience that silence, the silence of our original home. Now I see in front of me our beloved Father, my Supreme Soul, very intense and powerful. I can feel His presence. I can feel His vibrations, the vibration of complete peace. I can feel it, the vibration of pure love. I can feel it, the vibrations of power coming from this Supreme Soul, making me so powerful. Just be in the experience for a moment with this deep silence, absorbing all the power from Supreme Soul. Now slowly, when you are filled up, move back into your physical world and gently enter into your body and sit at center of your forehead. And still I feel those vibration from my Supreme Soul. Now I feel I am a powerful soul. And I radiate this vibration to my body. My body is receiving all these vibrations. Experience how strong and powerful these vibrations are. It's healing my body. All negativity of my body is burnt out. And I feel very light, relaxed, and healthy. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Namaste, and loving greetings of peace to everyone. So this is our first session after 2 weeks of, or 2 weekends of that meditation course we did. And so today I just wanted to focus on grind. That was the foundation that you received. And using that foundation, this meditation or this type of meditation helps you to create experiences for yourself. And these experiences are based on your innate truth, on who you truly are. And really what this philosophy is telling us is to really move away from everything, move away from your physical body, move away from the things of the world and whatever is happening, you know, the injustices, everything that's going on around you, you know, politically, economically, just move away from everything, because if you truly deeply want to return to your innate state of peace, and if you want to make a true impact in this world, you've got to shift your consciousness and you've got to bring it back to who you truly are. And this is the only thing that really, really, truly matters. And in this process of meditation, just ensure that, you know, brother was doing the meditation and he talked a lot about silence. So really ensure that you are giving yourself, the soul, the spiritual light that you are, that time for silence. Now, what is silence? Silence is not physical silence, going away into nature somewhere and just switching off from the world in that way. It's great. It's really needed sometimes. But we can't always run away into nature and switch off. We've got to awaken something in us. We've got to build this resilience and create tools within us that wherever we are, we can come into our true innate state of peace. So we learned that peace is my original nature. It's not something that is outside of me. So if I want to tap into my peace, if I want to tap into the love that I am, the happiness, the bliss that I am, then I've got to become silent. So what is silence? Silence is the ability to step away, like I said, from everything outside. Because the minute we begin to take this inward journey, the minute we begin to go within ourselves, there are going to be lots of forms of what we call Maya, illusions, okay? In terms of our own consciousness, our own minds, okay? The minds that have been conditioned by society and our experiences, okay? Secondly, we're going to be influenced by others, different philosophies, different cults, different sects, politics, things that are happening in the world, okay? All that is going to again want to pull us and draw us into that direction. And I'm not saying these things, sometimes these things are not really bad per se, but they are actually taking us away from that silence, which is the key ingredient for us to really experience the self, okay? So this is really what silence is, to not be distracted by anything outside, okay? Once you have the foundation that we went through, that is all. It's enough. You do not need anything else. Everything else is deep within you. Remember, one of your qualities is wisdom, okay? But to activate that wisdom within yourself, you need to become silent, okay? And so this is really what the true definition of silence is, to not be distracted by anything, not your physical body, not what others say. I know I've seen many times that, you know, people coming onto the path, I'm connecting with these souls and they're receiving this understanding, and their loved ones come in and they put, I mean, it's not that they don't love this soul, but there is an attachment there. The attachment plus the belief systems of this other soul come into the way, and subconsciously or unconsciously, the soul is being distracted from its journey of returning back to the self, okay? And this is very common. Our people around, this is another thing to be really, what silence means is not to listen to the voice of anyone around you, anyone, okay? And this is very, very key and very powerful thing to really understand for your intellect to imbibe. If you are not focused, if you are not connected in one direction, in one thing, you will never achieve that level of silence that's required to create all these incredible experiences, to shift your consciousness to its highest potential. And what is its highest potential? The highest potential of I, the soul, is that I am equal to the divine. I am pure divinity. I am godlike. I am a deity. That is how powerful I am. I have the ability to shift anything outside of me. And that's my consciousness. Okay, that's my truth. And so what is it that, so we've established that this is very, very key, that we do not listen to anything outside of this foundation. We do not listen to anyone, including our own old belief systems, because sometimes our own belief systems become a block on this journey. And this is if you really deeply want to recognize yourself as that most abundant, powerful being. Okay. If you have that inkling to do that. If you don't, then go ahead. Okay, go ahead, listen, go here, go there, do this, do that. Okay. But if you do, then you really need that deep power of concentration that comes through the silence that I have just described. So what is it that this meditation is really doing for us? What is it? What is meditation? So number one, meditation is inner dialogue. Okay. So just grind that within yourself, inner dialogue. It is not listening to something and becoming quiet and trying to change you and shift your thoughts in that one particular direction. No, it is an inner dialogue so that you can experience all that you want to experience in your life within yourself and stay uninfluenced by anything that's happening outside. Very powerful. Okay, and each one of us has that ability. Believe that. That's the first belief system, or the first belief that you've got to create for yourself. Okay, I have the ability to experience complete peace, complete happiness, complete joy, complete power. Okay, no matter what is going on around me. Okay. So inner dialogue means that I, using that foundational knowledge, begin to question myself. We're always having dialogues with others, asking things others, listening to others. But now go within. The wisdom that you want, the understanding you want, everything is within yourself. Okay? So ask yourself pertinent questions. Number one, who am I? And we've done the foundation. So we know that we are a soul. We are pure consciousness. We are nothing physical. Yes, we may be expressing ourselves through a physical body, but we are not the physical body. Okay. So just stop, ask yourself that question and stop and let the intellect, and you can be in this understanding for 20 years, but you can, this every time you ask yourself this, the intellect is getting empowered. Okay, you are allowing the intellect to do its work. And the intellect is your wisdom container, as we learned previously in the course. Okay. And the answer will come up. Okay. You are a non-physical living entity filled with light, filled with peace. Okay. And the second question that's very important to ask is, which is, or where is my true home? And we know this physical world is the home of the physical bodies. Okay, so the human being. But I now am to really go back to who I really am. I need to understand that I am not just the human, or I am basically focused on the being. And the being, the true abode, the true home of the being is the soul world. That world that is beyond the physical. Okay, it's nothing to do with this world. It is a world that I am completely free of all my baggages, my bondages. I am just pure light. I am pure consciousness. And we had the description of this world. And so you're getting a little refresher of the course, okay? And so the description of this world, it's an expansive world of silence. So in this silence, there's no distraction of this physical world, no beliefs of others, no thoughts of others or the world or the material physical. It is a space where you are just a point of light, just a point of pure consciousness. Okay. So again, your intellect will do this work for you. Okay. You've got to let that intellect answer. Give it time to answer. And what's the other question that's very important on this path? Who do I belong to? Who do I belong to? I don't belong to my husband. I don't belong to my wife. I don't belong to my children. In fact, these are just souls in my karmic bondages. Okay. Physically, I don't belong to my parents. Maybe the physical body does, but I, the soul, belong to the Supreme Soul. And this is fundamental for experiencing who you are. Fundamental, okay? Because to experience who you are, you have to go beyond the layers that you have created within your consciousness whilst living as a physical body, thinking and believing, while living as, by the belief systems of the world, the physical world, the material world. And so if you have to remove the rust of all that, you've got to know and understand that divine source as it is and what it is. Okay. And to understand that that source cannot exist in the physical world as many spiritual sects and cults and religions talk about. It is a metaphysical energy like the self, but the self gets tainted because of the law of entropy, of coming into the connection of the physical. This Supreme Source remains completely pure. And for me to return back to my original state, I need to connect to that source, to recharge the battery of the soul. And so eternally, I belong to this one. And so we are going back to the beginning. We are going back to the essence of the history of the soul, the beginning, the very beginning. Okay, and it's time now, as we learned according to the drama cycle. So these three questions are very important, but the fourth one, for me particularly, has given me a lot of focus in my journey, and that is, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? I had an old friend from years ago contact me today, and I was just sharing with them about my newfound freedom in the sense of my children going off to university, and so I can fully be focused on my mission. And she says, some of us are still looking for our mission. And I said, sometimes our mission is as simple as just experiencing constant peace. Simple. Doesn't need to be complicated. We don't need to do anything physical. We don't need to have this big, thing that we are doing in the world that everyone needs to see. And, we don't have to be activists for anything. We just have, this is the, I've shared this many, many times before with you guys. And I said, this is the mantra that I used to, really hang on to quite a bit, which I created for myself. And that is, nothing should disturb my state of peace, because this is who I am. And if it does, then I've gone into falsehood. Okay. So, and that's my nice checking point. So, your purpose really on this, if this philosophy, this meditation resonates with you, is just one thing, is to return to who you are. But because we have become so complex of all the things that, our experiences and all this body conscious rust that has created these blocks, these internal blocks, and that ego blocks and attachment blocks and lust and anger and greed and all this blockages, we've got to really have, I'm going back to that beginning of the inner dialogue. That is a remembrance, it's a reminder, and I've got to do it. I've got to grind my own ingredients. And through that process, I can even ask myself, so what are my specialities? What are my skills? What am I so amazing at? And I know when we've had physical sessions and I've asked this question to souls in the first time I meet them, many are at a block. And so the more internal work we do, the more we are going to really feel. And someone asked me once, what's the difference between, a few weeks ago while we're doing, what's the difference between arrogance and soul and self-confidence, and self-esteem and self-respect? And that's the difference, that I am now awakened to my beauty, to my talents, to my specialities. And when I'm awake, these are very pure qualities. These are not physical, they're not to do with the physical. Okay, and when we are awakened to something that is our truth, it is very, very sweet. Okay. So the vibration of that is going to be very sweet. It's not going to be an ego vibration. Okay. And that is self-confidence. Okay. And so we've got to have this inner dialogue to really tap into, to emerge. They're there. It's not like you have to create them. They are there. When I'm talking about these specialities and talents and skills, they are spiritual. I'm not talking about your physical things. I'm not talking about the things you went and learned to do, okay? These are inside of you, okay? The first time you came into a body in this physical world, you came with them, okay? They're ingrained within you. And so this process of meditation is to really experience them. So number one, you've got to connect, and whatever you connect to, and we know the basics we know of each one of us. We're peace, we're love, we're joy, we're wisdom, we're power, we're bliss, we're purity. Okay, we know these. And when we connect to these qualities, anything that we connect to has an influence. That's why I said, very important, do not connect to any human being outside. Do not connect to any philosophy outside. Do not connect to listen to anything outside. If you want to find your power, Rajyoga means to become a self-sovereign, okay? And everything is within you. Your journey is within you. Tap into it. Okay. Human beings. So for me personally, even as a Raja Yogi, I don't even listen to other Raja Yogis, okay? Unless they are talking this foundation. If they are going beyond the foundation of rules and regulations and this and that, I switch off, because I know there's that ego that's coming. Okay. So this is really true power. Okay. Then you're not a blind sheep following others. That's what we have these sanskaras. Remember we talked about sanskaras, that, you know, we have this herd mentality. I don't know what kind of conditioning it is, probably maybe through religion or politics, but we kind of have this herd mentality, and we connect to these souls, and we put them on a pedestal, and then whatever they say, because whatever you have connection to, you get influenced by. And whatever you're influenced by creates an experience for you. And the experience for you is you will be a subservient being, not a Rajyogi. Okay. You will never step into your power. Okay. You'll always be a subject, not a king. Okay. So really, really understand these are deep things, and maybe they don't make sense in this moment, but this is very important that you grind your own ingredients. The course we did is directly coming from the Supreme Source. Anything outside of it is human dictates. Human dictates. So for this process, and if you want to really experience your highest, fullest potential, then this is the way forward for you. So in this inner dialogue, also become aware of your own. So honesty is very important. Maybe you can't be honest with others and tell them what your weaknesses are in fear of being judged, because human beings do judge. Okay. You can have this, you become your own, but you have your own honest inner dialogue with yourself. Be very open to what your weaknesses are. And remember, wherever your weakness is, it is going to influence you. And that influence is going to bring an experience. And if that experience is a negative experience, then that vice is inside of you. You create your own experience. Okay. And the understanding of this is Rajyoga. Okay. Is to become a self-sovereign. You are not a victim of something outside, happening outside of you. Okay. Very, very important. So, inner dialogue, become aware of all, honestly aware. And the more I know in my journey, my own personal weaknesses have become more and more clear, and more I can now really fine-tune and focus into them and clearly label them, okay, and observe them, okay. And I know this is the stuff, the rubbish that I need to discard. But I have to also be very patient, because it's taken long, it's over a long period of time that those weak consciousnesses were created. So I've got to be very patient, and my focus needs to be on my truth, on my divine self, okay? Because I know through the Supreme Source, I know that I've forgotten this, and that one came to remind me that I am so beautiful, I'm so blissful, I'm so divine, I'm so fortunate, I'm so lucky, I'm so lovely. And now I've got to really connect to those values, to those virtues, to those qualities, and experience them. And the more I do this, the more I'll be influenced by them, and the more I'll experience these in my life. And then I can really be egoless, really, really egoless. Okay. So inner dialogue, very, very important. And what the meditation also does is heal you from all those things that we talked about, all the negativity. Okay. It's a beautiful healing process and journey. Okay. And that inward journey. And so it's not just about going inward, it's going outwards and connecting to the Supreme Source, to that ultimate healer. And the way this one heals is by purifying the negative body conscious traits, tendencies, habits. Okay. And really allowing our true spiritual personality to shine. And thirdly, in this process of meditation, we are recharging the battery. We are filling up with power. When we walk out of this space into the world out there, at every moment, we are requiring some power because the world has become heavily toxic, negative, and we are not, this is not some airy-fairy thing where like, oh, everything is all well and good. Da, 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 da. No, the reality is the world is in a heavily toxic space, okay? We don't need to engage and be influenced by that toxicity. But we need to apply our powers. And so what I was thinking today is when we now go into our next meditations, normally the 8 powers, I do them in one session. I want to look at each one individually and really meditate on each power, okay? I'm going to briefly talk about them today, but going forward in our alternate Friday meditations, we want to look at each power in depth, okay? So as soon as we walk out into the world, we are faced, and actually not just the world, first of all, within ourselves, there's a lot of heaviness, a toxicity and negativity inside. So we need the powers to face, we need the powers to tolerate, we need the powers to pack up, to withdraw. And we just don't need these powers. We need to use each power in the right situation. That's why it's so important to do these sessions on the powers, okay? Because if we are using the power to tolerate where we have to use the power to face, then we are not powerful, okay? So, charging, when we connect to the source, we are receiving the powers that are required to be able to take this upstream. I always say this journey is like going upstream, okay? Swimming upstream, not easy, not easy. And hence we need the spiritual powers. But again, we do, once we connect in that, when we are, yoga means union. When we are in connection with that source, with ourselves, in our true state, with that supreme source, we receive the powers in abundance. So initially the meditation will be just kind of really centering and using the thoughts of ourselves and all that we've learned, keep on applying them so that we clear out the cobwebs. Because the intellect, like I said, is that wisdom connect that's become very clogged or cobwebby, okay? And so initially it's just reminders, and we may not even feel it, but we've just got to be very determined that we keep those thoughts, things like, who am I? I am a peaceful soul. Stop. What is peace? Allow that experience of peace to penetrate through the intellect, okay? And slowly those cobwebs will be cleared. And then the mind and intellect will come into sync. And when the mind, the creator of the thoughts, and the intellect, the wisdom container, that one that allows the thought to come through, are in sync, we will come into the experience. And that experience will now be etched in the subconscious or the sanskaras. And our new spiritual personality will begin to shine through. Okay. So that is all that I wanted to share. Just going a little deeper into the process and understanding of how important it is to to do these things, to have the inner dialogue, to understand the process of the healing, to understand that this is a process of recharging the battery. Really, we need to understand what's going on in this meditation. Not just listening to someone and for a few moments feeling good about it. Few minutes you'll feel great, but then that's it. Nothing has shifted, nothing concrete has happened. So like brother was doing the guided meditation, that is helping you. It is guiding you to tap into your innate state. Anything that doesn't do that is really, really very superficial. It's a band-aid. Okay. It's not resolving anything. It's an illusion. So this is very key to understand. Like I said, we are going deeper now. We're going deeper. And if you're feeling resistance, that's the ego. Okay. And you've got to find a way to break through that ego. Because the belief systems that we've been holding, which are really not serving us actually, are going to resist this a lot. It's very few souls. I'm working personally at the moment with one of you, and I must say it's been amazing, doing the spiritual coaching with you one-on-one. And the incredible shift just in one session of this understanding. It's just like, I was like, wow, inspired. Okay. And this is how powerful it is. You are tapping into your own power and your own wisdom. Okay. And feeling it and experiencing it. So that's all I wanted to share today. It is a lot. It is a lot. Especially understanding really truly what silence is. Okay. It's switching off to your own dictates, to the dictates of the others, to the dictates of the world, and to really tune into your wisdom, your truth. Okay. So we'll just finish off with a few minutes. I'll just do a little ending meditation. Maybe we can experience a little bit of what we've just talked about today. So this meditation is an open-eyed meditation. This is also very important to know. Reason being is, number one, it's a very active meditation. It is a meditation where the mind and intellect are awakened and are consciously being tuned into the truth, are guided, okay, into the right thought process. Okay. And also it is a meditation that is a karma yoga, meaning that I am in that awareness wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. And so it's not just about closing the eyes, feeling great for a few moments, and then you go out there and you're just being, you go back into feeling all the negativity. So it's a practice. It's a practice. So if we do it open-eyed, we're going to have a lot more benefits. I know I sometimes say it's fine to close your eyes initially because the cobwebs are very heavy, and sometimes we just need to close off those physical senses to go inwards. So, but just something important for you to know. So let's just kind of relax the body. And of course, you can take a few moments to ground down and relax with the eyes closed. But once you come into the awareness of who you are, you can open the eyes in that new consciousness. So just taking a few moments. It's very important that the body is relaxed, understanding that this is your instrument. It is not you, but your instrument. And you have been attached to it for a very long time. And so you have to slowly allow it to relax, become the master of your body. And slowly, like you're taming this wild horse. So just as we tame the senses, we've got to tame the physical body, bringing it into a nice relaxed state, sitting comfortably. There's no particular position that you need to take. You can sit as comfortably as possible. You can use a backrest, no need. In some meditations, people think they're great yogis if they don't have a backrest. It's nothing about that. You don't want to be, you want that body to be totally relaxed. So I want you to really let go of the body as you relax it. And remember, we talked about who we are and where we are located. So I am that tiny spark of light situated at the center of the forehead. This is why I am referred to as the third eye sometimes, that third eye of wisdom. And from this space, coming into my awareness as a being of peace, an indestructible, imperishable, eternal light, I gently disembody the self. I release myself from my body. It's like I'm flying out of a cage that has imprisoned me for so long. And I just let myself go. Not out into this world, but into that true home, the eternal home from where I came from. And my true home is way beyond the physical universe, way beyond the subtle astral planes. It is the ultimate spiritual dimension, the constant space of silence. Just space, light, golden red light. And I immediately begin to feel liberated, free. I just am. And when I am in this state, free of everything physical, in my true essence, I am able to tune in to the spiritual vibrations of the Supreme Mother, Father, Teacher, Guide, Companion. And I tune in to this Supreme Source in all my relationships. This one is not just a divine supreme energy. I have eternal relationships with this one. And in this moment, I want to experience this one as my Father. And as my Father, I experience this canopy of light, protective light over me. I feel a sense of safety, security. I know that in this union and in this relationship of father and child, I am eternally safe, eternally secure, and I become fearless. And with that energy, I slowly come back down, down, down into my body. Through the crown of my head, taking a seat, my seat in the center of the forehead. This is my throne in my body. I'm always aware of myself seated here as a master. The master of my senses, the master of my body. And with that relationship of father and child, I'm feeling fearless, safe, secure. With that consciousness, I reconnect with the physical world. Om Shanti. So of course, there are all these different relationships that we can experience with the one, and whatever our heart is calling out for in that moment, we can experience that dynamic relationship as that mother, teacher, guide, if we need some guidance. So whatever it is. So this is really, really key to grind your own ingredients, to create your own experience, and to take this experience on your own unique journey in this world. Not as a blind sheep, but as a self-sovereign. Om Shanti, Namaste, and have a beautiful evening. See you.